Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and the most reliable Madden coins and 2K MT on the market. A link for their website will be right at the top of the description, and do not forget to use code Ferdy for 5% off. Today we have episode number 1 of promo reviews, and today we are getting started with the team of the week promo. And yes, I did say episode 1. I am planning on making promo reviews a new series here on the channel. So if you guys do enjoy it, make sure you guys hit that like button so I see if you guys are rocking with the new series or not. And also drop a comment down below. What promo should I look at next? Let me know. Give me some ideas. So yeah, I'm not really too sure how I want to structure these episodes, but I feel like the team of the week one is a good start because I can structure it pretty easily, just go week by week. But I do want to get started with my team of the week, thoughts, just in general, what I thought about the promo. So in my opinion, the team of the week promo needs a major revamp for Madden 23. And I think EA actually might do this just because you can tell that there isn't much interaction or hype around this promo. Card prices stay high. A lot of the cards just aren't really that special for the time, and they're also just severely overpriced. So there's not much interaction. There isn't much hype around this promo. So how can EA fix this problem? How can EA create more hype around this promo? How can EA, create more interaction in this promo? I can talk about this for maybe 15 minutes. I'm going to try to give you guys the shortest answer possible. And I think they have to get rid of these past players. Like, for example, Ronnie Harrison, like the week 1 drop was Ronnie Harrison to the next page. But they have to get rid of these players here. Ronnie Harrison shouldn't be in this promo. Priest Holmes shouldn't be in this promo. It's the team of the week promo from the past week of the NFL. The players that balled out in the NFL in the previous week should be getting these high overall upgrades. And when you think about it, only one player per week in the current NFL is getting this high overall upgrade. It makes no sense. It really makes zero sense. And it just shows you how EA is lazy. It's simple as that. They're just lazy because they have these cards pre-planned out weeks in advance. So, when it comes out, they can it's less work because they already have these cards made up. They already have them made up. So, there isn't much change. There isn't much movement in the promo for them as far as upgrading cards. And still half the time the promo is about 5 hours late either way. But I feel like we need more current players. That's the short answer. More current players and more players that balled out the previous week in the real life NFL should be getting usable upgrades. And I think that's the shortest answer I can give you guys. But there just isn't enough current players getting upgrades through the team of the week promo. And I feel like, say for example, Mike White is a great example. There was a lot of hype around Mike White, not only from like Jets fans, but also the whole NFL. He was all over Instagram, everywhere. He was everywhere. And then he didn't get the master that week. And I feel like that would have been a great way to create interaction, create, hype around a promo. And I feel like, maybe someone else deserved it that week, but I feel like, them making more masters makes it so there's less of a chance that a card that definitely deserved an upgrade from the previous week doesn't get one. So that's the short answer for that. I feel like there has to be more current players in the team of the week promo. So let's just get started with week number 1. I'm not gonna spend too much time on each week unless I have more things to say about other weeks than others. But week number 1, I don't have much to say about this week. It was just kind of you know what I mean? A lot of the cards towards the top, the heroes were Ronnie Harrison, Priest Holmes. The player of the week was Chandler Jones. Myles Garrett was the limited. But I feel like week 1 would have been a good week to have, 2 offensive masters and 2 defensive masters. Could have given Debo a master card. We also had this 87 Kyler on this side as well, who I don't remember many people really using. Maybe you could have given Kyler a big upgrade and you could have given Debo a big upgrade. That would have been a big W. Definitely would have created some hype. Like, I can almost guarantee that. But yeah, Chandler Jones definitely did deserve it, and maybe you give it to TJ Watt or a guy like that. But I feel like 2 defensive masters per week and then 2 offensive masters per week would have been perfect. It would have been perfect for this week for sure. And obviously you kind of get rid of these guys, or maybe you want to keep these guys in the promo. Say you're EA and you want to give some of these old guys upgrades. Yeah, sure, maybe keep these guys in there, but give us more current players. Just give us more current guys. That's all. I'm going to say that over and over again throughout this whole video, but that is just that's the main thing about the team of the week promo. That's the main thing. So next up, we have obviously week number 2. And I say more current players, but I also mean more current usable players. Mike Edwards was actually pretty solid. When this card came out, he was actually pretty needle moving, I would say. He had good speed for sure, and his price tag, I think, did end up reflecting that. yeah, about 380. You know, that's pretty solid for a card like that. But I remember him actually being pretty good. Aaron Jones, it made no sense to go out there and get this card. Yeah, his speed was decent, but I remember him going for like 800K. Like, bro, no one's, I mean, he was going for like a mil. Like, he did end up getting down to like 6, but I remember I had a Packers team at the time, and I just was never able to get this card because he was too expensive. But who balled out this week? Let's see what Derrick Henry did. Derrick Henry, 193 touchdowns, and had 55 receiving. Wow. Okay, Derrick Henry. JC Jackson, what did you do? 2 interceptions, and all he got was an 84 for it. What did Mike Edwards do? He had 2 interceptions too. Oh my, Mike Edwards went crazy, bro. Mike Edwards went two pick sixes. Good for him. Let's see the other guys. Lamar Jackson. What did Lamar do week 2? Lamar went, okay, that's pretty solid. Hey, that's a good day in the office. But you see a lot of these lower overall guys are some pretty big names. Like even Cooper Kupp at the time. Cooper Kupp, his best card was an 84. What did he do? 9 receptions, 172 touchdowns. Would have been cool to see him as a master. You know what I mean? Would have been super cool. So yeah, week 2. Again, I guess it was probably better than week number 1. I'm going the wrong way here. Definitely was better. Was it better than week 1 though? I would say just because of Mike Edwards, and I would say Ozzie was decent. Ozzie was like, he was all right when he came out. So I'd probably say week 2 was again. But you're kind of gonna see that being a common theme. All these weeks are just kind of like, like it could have been better. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. I remember after every single team of the week reveal, I was just like, it could have, you could have done better. Okay, so week 3 does start with Myles Garrett, and okay, now I'm actually starting to remember that Myles Garrett was like a crazy high overall because he had his limited in week 1, and then he got a +1 on top of it. So that card was a monster. But I remember week 3, I remember really liking Ronnie Brown. This is probably one of the better weeks right here because Ronnie Brown was really good. This card was really nice. I'm still waiting for his next upgrade, but I really did like this card. 230, 6 foot. He was really good. He was good. Definitely overlooked because he came out in the Team of the Week promo and there isn't much hype around it. But I did a game plan Ronnie Brown. I remember really, really liking him. Am I on the wrong page again? It keeps bringing me back for some reason. Logan Wilson was an 87 speed guy. Byron Murphy, he was a good budget option. He was a good budget. I remember him for sure. We had Josh Allen, player of the week that week, I believe, for obvious reasons. 5 TDs. They were left with no choice, and this card was really good. He was like the best QB in the game when he came out. So there's Josh Allen. I think team of the week 3 was, or team of the week 3 was really nice. Was Agnew week 3 or was he week 4? He was week 3 too. He was another good budget guy. Okay, week 3 may have been, yeah, it's 100% the best week so far. 100%. Give me week 3 over any other week. It couldn't have been Mike Williams, right? Mike Williams was also in here too. He wasn't that budget, but still a 6'4" receiver is pretty nice to have. Was Justin Tucker week 3? And we had the limited time Justin Tucker. I actually did like this as well. I like how when players set records, instead of them being like the master automatically, they kind of had their own separate limited time card. That was definitely cool. We had Justin Tucker who got it and Tom Brady who got it at some point during the week or during the year. But week 3 so far. Oh, and also we had the limited time Shaq Barrett, who was again probably overpriced. But week 3, give me week 3. Wait, who was the other 91? Oh, it had to have been Teddy Bruschi then. Okay, that's kind of a step back, I would say, but still week 3, if we compare to the rest of the other 3 weeks so far, I would say it's number 1. Had good budget players, had good masters. So far, that's the best. Okay, so now we have week number 4, and we had the week 4 Deebo Samuel, who went crazy once again. Deebo was going crazy, huh? I mean, that makes sense. He was a fantasy monster. Stefan Diggs was the player of the week, 91 speed. He was pretty good at the time. I remember that. I do remember that a lot. And we had Tyreek, who got a +1, which was actually a good +1. This is one of the very few good +1s because Tyreek was already super fast. Then you give him a +1 on his speed. Obviously a big W right there. Antonio Gates, you know what I mean? Wait, who was the other 92? It was Gates. And was Cam Hayward the limited? Okay, he was the limited. That's obviously an L. Okay, Brady was the record breaker. So we had a week 4 record breaker Brady for the career passing yards. Card was all right. Remember, he had good ability at the time, good accuracy stats. Obviously, he has the traditional one release. And we had Delta that week. It was Delta? Wait. Yeah, it was Delta. I guess Miles Austin must have been week 5, but Delta was week 4. He had good speed at the time against the run. He really can't do much. But week 4 was solid. I would say, the 93 Brady does carry because you have, Trayvon Diggs had a lot of hype. I would say he was probably a good master. he was a good master, I think at the time, because there still is a lot of hype around Trevon Diggs. I think he's still a pretty big name, but at the time he was just kind of getting onto the scene, and there was a lot of hype around Trevon Diggs. So him being the master made sense. And by the way, I know we're gonna go to week 5 right now, but I remember when the Ultimate Legend Antonio Gates came out, I saw a bunch of comments like, finally he gets his first upgrade, like finally he's getting an upgrade. I don't know why he wasn't in the game yet. People didn't even know that Antonio Gates was even in the game. People didn't even know. Like, just think about that. People didn't even know. But yeah, we got week number 5. We have Miles Austin. This card was actually pretty good. 6'2", 91 speed. That's pretty nice right there. So Miles Austin W. We had Quincy Williams. I guess decent budget. 88 speed at middle linebacker is not bad. Marquise Hollywood, good budget. Kevin Byard. He was slow at the time. I remember him being fairly slow for the time, and how you needed a Titans team to really use him. And then we had this card right here. He was probably the best team of the week card that we got so far, Will Fuller, because of the speed. Yeah, he was going for, super expensive, $1 million. He was super expensive. I do remember that, but he was the fastest wide receiver in the game. And with strat cards, you were able to get Will Fuller pretty high up there. But yeah, week 5, pretty good. You had some good budget guys. You had Miles Austin, a 6'2" receiver. You had Will Fuller as well. So week 5, pretty good. Oh, was Kabir in this one as well? Kabir was good too. Kabir was a good card as well when he came out. But again, overpriced. A lot of these cards weren't really picked up, but he was nice. We had our first Devontae +1. Was Vernon week 6? Okay, Vernon was week 6. So I guess it cuts off there for week 5. Darius Slate, even another good budget card. That's another good budget card. I feel like they're doing a good job with these budget cards here right now. Could Eckler be budget? Nah, I don't think he could even be budget on a full Chargers team, low key. But yeah, week 5 was solid. I mean, week 5 was good because you had Will Fuller in there. Obviously very expensive, but he was a monster, man. He was a monster. And hopefully while I'm going over these cards, I'm putting up clips of these cards from whenever they came out. That's the plan. I'm going to edit some clips on. Hopefully I'm doing that. But yeah, let's get on to week number 6. So now we got week number 6. And when was week number 6? It was right before, I think, Most Feared. I believe Most Feared came out maybe that week, maybe Most Feared that week. It could have been. I'll know when I look back. We had KJ Osborne that week. We had CD Lamb with an 88, a good budget card. Jonathan Taylor was the player of the week. Towards the end of the year, he probably deserved almost every single team of the week or player of the week. But 91 speed Jonathan Taylor, was he that crazy? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if he was that crazy at the time. I just don't remember if he was that crazy. But stat-wise, looks pretty good with that 91 speed at running back. Pretty solid. We had the limited Vernon Butler Jr. Definitely not worth it. And then we had Lem Barney there as well. But a guy like Lem Barney isn't creating any kind of hype. You know what I mean? A guy like Lem Barney isn't creating any hype whatsoever. But I would say, week 6 was all right. Maybe when I look back at my video, the Jonathan Taylor video, I'll be like, oh yeah, this card, it was definitely hyped up. But I feel like I would have remembered if this card was super, crazy at the time. But yeah, there's Jonathan Taylor right there, and that is week number 6, right? Is that all week 6? I guess we had Marcus Golden there as well. Go to page 8. Was there anyone down here? And now we're at week 7. All right, let's get into week number 7. So week number 7, we had the player of the week, Cooper Kupp, and you see right here, speed-wise, this card, no one really wanted him. Not only was he overpriced, also he was literally 3 speeds slower than the fastest receiver in the game. And thankfully, they did Cooper Kupp right at the end of the year, looking back at it now. But at the time, yeah, they did him dirty. And yes, he actually was a good card stat-wise, but the speed just wasn't there for Cooper Kupp. And outside of you having a Rams team, you weren't picking him up. Roddy White was solid. We had this budget Kyle Pitts card. Really, really nice card right here. He was a nice little upgrade from the RP Kyle Pitts, which was definitely due. We had Aziz off the edge with 88 speed. Pretty solid right there. That Aziz card, not bad at all. Dearness Johnson went crazy that week. I do remember that week. That was Thursday Night Football. That was Thursday night against the Broncos. Yeah, Dearness went crazy in that game. And we had Devondre Campbell. Chase Edmonds is the limited. Okay, Chase Edmonds was the fastest running back in the game when he came out. I do remember this. He was week 7. Yep, he was a limited time card, but he was the fastest running back in the game when he came out. I do believe I did a gameplay on this guy. I'm hoping that I did. I think I did. If I did, you're seeing the footage right now on screen. But very expensive. Very, very expensive for Chase Edmonds. Wow. Okay, but he was the fastest RB in the game whenever he came out, and I think it brought me back a screen. It did. Let's get right back to where we were before. And Chase Edmonds was Mike Evans week 7 as well. Okay. Who else did we have? Sam Hubbard. I mean, week 7 was all. Actually, I don't like week 7 because the player of the week wasn't good. I think to have a good week, the player of the week has to be a good card. I mean, the limited was nice, and you had, Kyle Pitts is a good budget guy. But outside of that, I'm just it wasn't that special. And when I accidentally did cut someone out of week number 7, we also did have Jay Ratliff. This card was actually pretty good. 2 thresholds in the middle, good acceleration, good strength. Ratliff was actually kind of a monster. One of the more overlooked cards from this promo that came out. I mean, because he was overpriced and there wasn't much interaction in the promo. And also, Jay Ratliff really isn't like a big name. So say that name was like Warren Sapp, there'd be a lot more hype around him. But definitely an overlooked card. He was really, really good. Is 87 Mitchell week? Okay, now we're in week 8. Okay, week 8, Elijah Mitchell. AJ Brown went crazy that week with 10 for 155. We had Josh Sweat, who is he even like a good budget at this point of the year? When was this? This was early November. 1 threshold. He was all right. And here's the Mike White week. This was the Mike White week, right? It had to have been. This is the only week Mike White went crazy. 403 passing touchdowns, and all he got was this card. That's all he had. So there's Mike White. Who was the master this week? I think it was a Patriot, I believe. I went back on accident. I think it was a Patriot. It was Adrian Phillips who had the pick 6 against Hubbard. I actually do remember that. Oh, no, it wasn't Herbert. No, yeah, it was Herbert. Wait, why is it Panthers? Oh, they messed up. Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, am I just confused? But they must have typed it wrong on my GG. Yeah, I do remember this game. But again, this is just what I'm not saying Adrian Phillips didn't deserve it. I'm saying EA doesn't give us enough upgrades per week for current players that are usable. So we had Adrian Phillips, who at 90 speed was, I guess, all right speed-wise. But, yeah, Mike White doesn't get a usable card, and he's only probably going to go off that week, most likely. You know what I mean? So, kind of unfortunate there. But that was week 8, right? Week 8 limited was another defensive lineman. Again, just Was Abraham that week too? He was that week. He was all right. Nothing crazy, overpriced for a theme team. Elijah Moore, did he get one too this week? Oh, this is week 9 against the Colts, right? Okay. I do remember that game. So was Lamar week 8 too? Or he was week 9 as well. Okay, let's get into week number 9. Week 8. Reggie Wayne. Reggie Wayne was good. 3 thresholds. Still waiting for that next Reggie upgrade. I forgot he was in the game. Dude, Reggie needs another upgrade, bro. Reggie cards always play well. Get Reggie another upgrade, please, EA. But that's week 8. I feel like week 8's a prime example of a week that would have benefited a lot from having more than one player of the week. It would have benefited a lot. Okay, so now we got week number 9. This came out about November 9th. So here is week number 9. Elijah Moore, 91 speed. Actually wasn't a bad budget guy. 91 speed at this point of the year for an 86. That's not terrible. It keeps putting me back pages for some reason. McKinney, probably a pretty solid budget option with 90 speed right there. We got Josh Allen was our player of the week. That was when he sacked Josh Allen, and I think he had a pick low key. Yeah, he had a pick on Josh Allen as well. He definitely did deserve it this week. There was a lot of hype around that. And we had the limited time Big Ben, who had this same exact card the previous year in Madden 21, which also I guess makes this structure nice for EA because they can just keep recycling cards. The Big Ben's an example of that. The first one that I recognized, but I do remember the limited Big Ben in Madden 21, and also there was this card in Madden 22. McGahee was actually pretty solid. I mean, 235. This is still his only upgrade with good speed. Good for a theme team for sure. McGahee's next upgrade could kind of be a monster. He could end up being a monster at 235. I mean, that's a good weight. That's a really good weight. And we had James Conner that week, who was on my fantasy team. He was always a monster. Almost 100. Oh my goodness. He went crazy, bro. He went absolutely wild. Hopefully I started him that week. Actually, I don't think I started James Conner this week. I feel like I remember not starting him. We had Rondé Barber. You know what I mean? He was all right. Let's go to the next page here. What a week are we on right now? Okay, was Rondé Barber week 10? I may have gone too far. Oh, he was our last week 9 guy. Okay, so week 9 we have Rondé from Rondé to Lamar Jackson. Not the greatest drop, I would say. You have an overpriced quarterback who's probably not worth it. I would say the cards that are probably worth picking up for their price was Elijah Moore, maybe McKinney. I would say Willis was solid, and I guess on a theme team, Rondé could have been a move too. So, yeah, that is week number 9. That's week 9 right there. So for week number 10, we have from CD Lamb up here to Stefan Diggs. And what did Stefan Diggs do this week? Stefan Diggs is a card that, you know, you should have given a master to in this promo. He would have created a lot more hype. Stefan Diggs was done dirty the whole year, by the way, and his best card being this card is absolutely criminal right now. Like, he's not even good in the end game. There still has to be another Stefan Diggs upgrade, right? They got to give Stefan Diggs an end game upgrade because his 97 just isn't good. Like, even on a full team, he's not that great. But CeeDee Lamb, another good budget card. I guess he just kept getting budget cards. Elvis Dumerville, 2 thresholds, good speed. It's a pretty solid card right there. This was the week of Robert Hunt. This was probably the best card that... Actually, no, we had Jamal Adams. And looking back on it, Jake Plummer should have had a lot more hype. This card should have had a lot more hype around them. I overlooked them. I remember people in my comment section were really hyping him up. But there wasn't much hype around Jake Plummer. This card was really nice. If we look at the abilities, he did get Escape Artist, which wasn't 14 AP at the time. So you had those good abilities, and he also had the Slinger 1 release. He has the Rodgers, the Derrick Henry release. This was a really good card that didn't get enough hype around him. He was actually really good, and yeah, I definitely didn't hype him up that much. Oh, we also had Team of the Week. Oh, this was the Mahomes week, bro. This week was actually kind of crazy. It's crazy to say that Mahomes wasn't even the best quarterback that came out. He wasn't. And this was literally the last Mahomes upgrade. I remember they weren't going to give Mahomes Gunslinger, but the card was so bad that the whole community was like, you have to give him Gunslinger. He's not good. This card is not good. It's not going to Escape Artist. Patrick Mahomes does not get Escape Artist, and they almost weren't going to give him Gunslinger. Thankfully, they did. But yeah, Mahomes literally wasn't the best quarterback that even came out on his own drop. Jake Plummer was literally better. But still a pretty solid drop. You had Plummer, you had Jamal Adams, Hassan Reddick, decent budget, 88 speed. We had Robert Hunt, budget CeeDee Lamb. One of the better weeks for sure, but Mahomes was definitely underwhelming. I almost didn't see Mahomes right there. I almost just went through that whole week without talking about Mahomes. Thankfully, I saw him. But yeah, week number 10 was pretty solid. One of the better weeks for sure. Okay, so now we got week number 11, and this was Jonathan Taylor's second player of the week. He had, what week was it before? Week 6. We had week 6 and now week 11 for Jonathan Taylor. So yeah, I mean, he definitely was balling out this season, definitely did deserve it. And somehow he did not, oh no, he was offensive player of the year, right? So I guess that's why he didn't get team of the year. But TJ Edwards, 87. We had Chris Jones, Joe Mixon, probably not usable. Desmond King, not even good for budget as a 90 overall. Let's go to the next page. 95 Rob Gronkowski. I do remember this card, super overpriced. Jimmy Smith was actually a pretty good card. 6'1", 213, good speed right there. Jimmy Smith was pretty good. So we had, was Surtain in this one? No, Surtain couldn't have been in this one. So I guess week 11 was from not Jonathan Taylor. It was, yeah, Jason Taylor to Jonathan Taylor, I guess it was. But pretty solid week. You had only one threshold guy. Zach Ertz was all right. Yeah, it wasn't as good as week number 10, but still pretty solid because of Gronk being just so good in this game always. I mean, Heineke as well, but I would say Jimmy Smith was good, and then Jonathan Taylor was solid as well. So that is week number 11. Okay, so week 12 we have from Surtain to JPP. One of the better weeks, I feel like, because Doug Baldwin was a new name. Leonard Fournette was a decent budget guy with the good weight and decent speed. Rasul, 6'2" corner, but the speed really not that great. Kendrick Bourne's here. Darius Leonard, not that great either. John Franklin Myers, not that great. Seth Joyner, actually kind of a bad week. But the rising star, Jalen Waddle, did get a +1. But Surtain was not only one of the better cards in this promo, he was probably the best corner in the game, debatably at the time. 6'2", good speed, good acceleration, can press, can play man, can play zone, can tackle pretty well. So Surtain was an absolute monster. This card was amazing. And then also JPP, you know, another limited time overpriced defensive lineman, which you're going to see a lot, and you probably already have seen a lot of in this promo with guys like Shaq Barrett, Vernon Butler, JPP. A lot of these overpriced defensive linemen just show up here in this promo for some reason. I don't know why they do this, but that is week number 12. Okay, so week number 13 goes from Deontay Johnson up to Mike Rucker. And let's take a look at this week right here. Devontae Parker was the limited. Definitely wasn't worth whatever he was going for. George Kittle was pretty good. He was pretty good at the time. I do remember that. He was a good run blocker, obviously. I remember people wanting his speed to be a little bit higher. But everyone wanted this George Kittle upgrade because everyone had his season 1 master card, and we're just kind of waiting for his next card to come out. He was very expensive when he came out. I do remember that because everyone wanted to get this card and upgrade their season 1 guy. But outside of that, any other good budget? Really, no real good budget guys. But Boomer Esiason came out. I love this card. I really did like this card. I didn't like him, then I did like him, and I used him for a while. But Gen 3 on a lefty, had the escape artist. I think you were able to run escape artist pass lead on him. You know, obviously with Gen 3, and he was a fun card to use. I like Boomer Esiason. I was a fan of this card, but other than that, week number 13 was very, very, very lackluster. So next up, we have week 14 and week 15, and they both came out on the same day because this was after the 1 month hiatus of the promo for Zero Chill. And by the way, if people are enjoying Team of the Week this year, please do not go on a month break. Like, please don't do it. It makes no sense why they even go on this month break, but they do it every year. It's just stupid in my opinion. I mean, especially if people are enjoying the promo. Why get rid of it? It literally makes no sense, especially during the holiday season. It makes no sense. So yeah, you see right here, Devontae Parker came out on December 7th, and then we had, oh, it pulled me over a page, and then we had Darius Leonard come out on January 11th. So it was literally a month, but this drop was all right. It was carried by kind of one guy. We have another overpriced pass rusher right here, but it was just carried by one guy, and it was mainly just Odell. This card was super hyped up, and this is what happens when you have a super hyped up card in a, you know, poorly structured promo. His price will go up and will stay up. You know, almost 2 mil for this guy. This is golden ticket price tags right here, because Odell was a really good card, and he's a pretty big name. It was Giants Odell Beckham Jr., one of the most popular NFL players ever. So Odell kind of carried this. Was Ken Houston in this one? He was as well. He was an alright card. I think that was it. I think that was, yeah, week 15. Oh no, Duke Johnson was also in here. This was a big drop, huh? I mean, yeah, I guess it was literally 2 promos. Yeah, week 15, Joe Horn. Was Fred Taylor in this? He was. This drop was probably the best because it was the most spread out, but Fred Taylor was a beast. Odell was a beast. Actually, I can't say it was the best. There's only like 2 good cards in it, right? Only like 2 good. I mean, Reggie White was solid. Ken Houston's all right on the theme team. Joe Horn was actually kind of overlooked because he came out on the same day as Odell Beckham Jr. But he was kind of overlooked. He's also a 6'1" receiver who on a theme team's pretty nice too. So I guess this double drop was pretty solid. So next up, we have the final super drop for Team of the Week. We had 3 weeks in one. We had 16, 17, and 18 all come out on the same exact day. So there was obviously some hype around this because you're going to get a bunch of new cards all in one day. This was probably one of the bigger content drops of the year because you have so many new players, so many new names coming in. But we had Joe Burrow get an upgrade. Kevin Williams, obviously. It wouldn't be a Team of the Week promo without some overpriced pass rushers. We had Kevin Williams here, Randy Gregory as well. We had Bobby McCain, who was probably a little bit overpriced for what he could do, honestly. But Joe Burrow, pretty nice card. But it's these 3 names here: Sean Springs, Jerry Rice, and Ed Reed. If we got names like those 3 guys every single Tuesday, there wouldn't have been really a problem with hype or interaction if we were getting big names like that every single Tuesday. It's guys like, you know, Seth Joyner, you know, dudes like that I haven't heard of until, you know, their cards get revealed. It's guys like that shouldn't be coming out on Tuesdays. It's guys like Ed Reed and Jerry Rice that should be coming out and creating hype if they are going to go this route of dropping past players in a current player promo. That's what they should do. But yeah, one of the better drops. Week 18 would have been good alone because we had Jerry and Ed Reed in the same drop. Would have been just a really nice week. Or was this wild card? Or was 18 wild card? And I think okay, so in the previous years, obviously there was no week 18, so it was wild card performances. Okay, that makes sense. Now I remember that now. But yeah, this drop was pretty solid and had 3 really good players who were all top tier at their position when they came out, which is pretty rare to say for the Team of the Week promo throughout the year. But yeah, that is going to do it for episode number 1 of promo review here with the Team of the Week promo. And I'm going to give this promo, if I were to rate this promo out of 10, it's like a 6, bro. It's like a 6, maybe like a 5, maybe like a 5.5. I'll go with a 5.5. I think it's like an average. Some drops better than others. I think before this mega drop at the end, you maybe had 2 weeks during the season where you were like, okay, this is actually a good drop. There's a little bit of hype around it. We got more than just one good card coming out. So I would give it like a 5.5. Wasn't a good promo. Just wasn't a good promo. So if you guys do enjoy this video, I feel like it went a little bit longer than what I thought, but I know some of you guys do like the longer videos because you guys are usually doing something while watching the videos. So if you guys do enjoy the longer videos, let me know down in the comment section. Hit that like button, and also let me know what promo you guys want to see next. Let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.